Good morning. Hi, happy Saturday. My name is Gloria Valle. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I'm coming to you from Stampin' Gloria's Crafty Corner in San Antonio, Texas. I am here this morning to do a quick live video because I just had to see you and spend some time with you. Not only that, but today we're inaugurating my brand new Stampin' Emboss cut machine. I am so excited. I have been so busy, I have not tried it yet. So we are going to adventure together to open that. Now, our project today is a fall themed card, and we're going to be using some die cuts and embossing folders. So this is today's card. There is one piece of stamping we're doing, and that's the inside card. So we're going to do that first and get that out of the way. This card is made with stitched triangles, which is my feature die cut today. We're also going to be embossing with the Argyle Stampin' Emboss folder, and this piece comes from Halloween Magic Dies. This is from Well Written Wishes, and then this is from Playful Alphabet. Now you could most likely do Happy out of this. It'll be a little tighter fit in here, but I'm sure it would accommodate it. It just kind of have to be a little tall, higher up, and maybe cut your paper a little differently. But I'm going to show you how I made this card for this morning's one and only project, okay? As I mentioned, I'm using this leaf stamp, and I'm kind of, this morning's project was a hodgepodge of my collection. So this comes from Rooted in Nature. I'm using pumpkin pie ink. I mentioned my dies. I'll call those out as we use them. I need some scraps so that I can cut out my candy corn. So I'm going to put that up here. And I'm using this new black glitter paper. Ooh, it is so fun. I loved it so much, I had to find a way to put it into my card. And so I thought I would use it for my words and my border to help embellish that. I am using this shade, which has the it's Melon Mambo, which also kind of leans towards crushed curry, but the official color that's noted in the designer series paper set is Melon Mambo, which is that darker shade. It's pumpkin pie and then the lines of basic black. And all of our plaid paper from this packet is double-sided, so you have a lot of choices in how you're going to use it. I needed one strip that I'm going to be using for the front of my card, 5 1/4 by 5 1/4 this way by 4 inches this way, and I'm going to layer it on top of the basic black cardstock. This piece is 4 1/4 by 11 inches. So you're taking your paper vertically and cutting it in half. You score it and fold it at 5 1/2 inches. Thus, the 5 1/4 inches is what's going to leave you that border. So we're going to emboss this, and then we'll do our die cutting. Let me hear a drum roll. I'm getting my embossing machine out. Ta-da! I went out and I ordered my Stampin' Cut emboss machine. And I am so glad I did, because it's just so much easier to hold. It's compact, folds up nicely, and it doesn't even take up the space that my other one used to in my craft area. So we're going to open it up, lay it flat. That's the other thing. This one, unlike our Big Shot, the Big Shot just had peg legs underneath. And it was sturdy, don't get me wrong, there's absolutely nothing wrong with our traditional Big Shot, but this one is solid and flat, and it does have these little, let me flip this over, it has these rubber pads on it, and I find that it's pretty sturdy there. So before I bury all my pieces, okay, trying to make sure I stay in the camera, so here we go. We are going to use our base plate. So for this project, the first layer, I'm going to use my Argyle embossing folder, absolutely Argyle embossing folder, and it is a 3D folder. So I'm going to follow the instructions under number 1. Okay, so with this, I know that it's 3D because it's in my title. It's a thicker folder. So we're going to put that here. And it says that I'm going to use plates. I'm sorry, I said number 1. I'm not cutting. I am doing the 3D embossing folder. Silly. Okay, here we go. Using the 3D embossing folders, we're going to use plate number 1, put the cardstock inside the embossing folder, and then we're going to put plate number 4. So here's number 1, and here's my cardstock, and here's my folder. I'm going to use my line on this folder to just align my paper. I'm going to lay that on this number 1, then I'll pull number 4 out and roll it through. Yep, and it's so much quieter. My table's not rocking. My machine's not making this horrendous loud noise. Wow, super, super. Look at that. Pretty, pretty. There's my Argyle embossed item. Okay, let's get these things out of the way. And we'll come back to that machine in just a moment. So this piece, I'm going to go ahead and place it down on my black cardstock. So let's go ahead and use our adhesive and place that. Right on top of our card. Okay, now I will need, I'm going to go ahead and do I'm leaving the candy for last. I'm going to do the Happy, the Fall, and this black border piece out of my glitter black paper. So I will need, this, as I mentioned, is from Magic in the Night Dies. So I'm going to use this one. And I'm going to need the letters from Playful Alphabet. Now, there are certain letters in Playful Alphabet that are duplicated, which makes it really nice for words like fall. I have 2 L's, so I only have to cut once. That's great. And then this is the word happy from Well Written Wishes. Now, let's go back to our Stampin' Emboss machine. I think I need a wider angle lens because it's making it really difficult to keep everything on camera. I'm going to place it this way this time. And now the instructions for using, I had referred to it earlier, the instructions for using the die cutting edge down is layer 1. Then I'm going to place layer 2, which is this additional piece. It just gives it a little more thickness. Then I'm going to be using layer 3, which are my acrylic plates. Okay, so one is for cutting, and the other one is going to be on top to protect it. So let's put the black glitter paper down and all the pieces that I'm going to need to cut. Let's see, I need to make sure that's showing. Okay, so we're going to put the border piece here, the word happy. Oh, I know what I forgot to tell you. I did this ahead of time. I put the double adhesive tape on the back side. Why do you think I did that? Yep, because this, while this one is easier to glue because there's some, wide open spaces, this is going to be difficult to glue because while the lettering is so cute and pretty, it is very narrow. And so it's, it gets a little messy at times when trying to put tape or glue back there. So I'm using the double-sided tape, and I forgot to tell you that before I got started. I want you to know that it's there and why it's there. So let's see, I'm going to use this side since the tape is a little more dominant on this side. Okay, there's my border piece. Here's the happy. And now let's put our letters, fall, F. And don't do what I did the other day. I was playing around making projects for the week and for my next month PDF. And lo and behold, if I did not not pay attention, turned it around, and I I put the letters on the tape side. So needless to say, my letters were backwards. All right, so here we go. All my letters are in place. I'm going to put my number 3 plate. See, number 3 plate. They're both number 3. I'm going to run it through the machine. It's a little thicker because of the tape. Not thick, not too thick that it's going to ruin the machine or anything like that. It's just, it takes a little more pressure. Here we go. Let's get these out of the way. This time I get to fold. No, I don't. Still got to do triangles. Never mind. Okay, let's look at this. Cute, cute. Fall. My letters. Okay, all my letters and the word happy. Okay, put this aside for another project. And let's get our little tool out here. Here it is. Get some of these pieces popped out. There we go. So there's happy. Put these dies back on my magnet. Yep, a crafter's nightmare is dropping a small die onto the ground and not being able to find it. So I'm going to give you a little hint. I purchased this on Amazon, and I did that because a couple times I've dropped a die onto the floor, and I've been able to sweep my carpet and pick it up. So it is a handy dandy tool. Free advice from a fellow crafter who has lost dies on the floor. Okay, these are the words, the letters for fall, happy, and my border. Let's clean up my border. This all-purpose tool, pick tool, is amazing. I have a couple of them. One of them I attached the brush end. They come with a scoring tip, and then my other one is the one I use with the putty and the pointy tip, as well as the putty flat tip. Okay, let's get all these pieces out of the way. Now, I always get ahead of myself because I just get so happy about my crafting. I'm going to take this piece back out, and I'm going to build as I go along. So I'm going to put my plaid piece here. Now this one is cut at, oh dear, I had already cut it, so let's see. I have some measuring here. Yeah, that's what I thought. It's 2 inches by 4 inches. So I'm going to be adhering this right underneath the white piece. Now, the white piece, I chose to do a full piece, but you don't have to. You can cut it so that it butts up to this. So you could actually do a 3 by 4 and then this 2-inch piece. And I am realizing why I have a full sheet. You know, when I made this card the first time, I actually did cut it separately as a 3-inch piece, which makes me wonder, it begs the question where that 3 piece is, because that was going to be the piece, this one was going to be the piece I stamped on the inside. All right, monitor and adjust, no biggie. All right, let's go ahead and see how easy this tape comes off and how easy it makes it to work. Double-sided adhesive already there. I'm going to line this up kind of at the edge of this. And I'm going to snip this little piece, get extended. Oops. Little hair there. There. Okay, so we've got that one going. Now let's take Happy. And these are often, there we go, they're very easy to peel off. You just kind of have to twist it a little bit and it loosens the adhesive. So I'm going to line up, I like this plaid paper, it's making it easy to line up my words. I'm going to line up the tops of those lowercase letters to that, kind of to that black line. And then fall. Happy fall. Isn't that pretty? Look, that was so easy. No messy, sticky, residual adhesive. Easy, easy peasy. Now here comes the fun part. We are going to use our stitch triangle dies. So I'm going to take a moment and talk about these. I am using the second largest, the third largest, and the fourth largest. And it comes from this die set called Stitch Dies. I always label them like this so I can see them easily. We have some equilateral triangles, we have some isosceles triangle, and we have some right triangles. I was praying those names came to me this morning, and they did. So as you can see, these three come out of this little stack. So there is one die smaller than the three I'm using. And the reason I'm telling you that is because I chose to have big, bold candy corn candies on my card. So I chose to use number 2, number 3, and number 4. If you start with number 1, you'll have the same effect and they'll be smaller. I didn't want to risk losing the white tip of my candy corn, which is why I chose to skip the smallest piece and start with the second piece. But as you can see, there's also dies 5 and 6. And then the same thing is true here with the equilateral triangles. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of those. And then this is right triangle, right angle triangle. 1, 2, 3, and 4 of those. So there's a lot of cool cards out there that I've seen lots of folks making. So we're going to cut using these 3 pieces. Now obviously my candy corn, I'm going to use the pumpkin pie for the larger one. I'm going to use crushed curry for the smaller one. Let's see if I have another scrap here. Yeah, that scrap works. I mean, hey, scraps are scraps. There, you use them up to the max, right? And then this piece, I'm going to put the white. So let's get those. Move our new machine out here. Now you see why I had to come to you today. Even for just this one little project, I had to come and show it off because I get to use my new machine. Okay, here we go. A reminder: die cutting, thin dies. Layers number 1, number 2, number 3. So 1 and 2 are in place. 3, that's my clear cutting plate. I'm going to use this one. Use the side I've already been cutting on. Try to keep my plate healthy by cutting on the same side all the time. Now I'm going to make sure you can see this. I'm going to place the white piece and drag that one back here. And I'm going to put that triangle there. I'm going to use my paper pumpkin piece and use, that's my larger one, so that's that triangle. And my little Daffodil Delight, slide that up a little bit, slide this up a little bit, and my little Daffodil Delight, not Daffodil Delight, crushed curry, and the second largest. So here we go. All 3 going through. These are stitch triangles. Sort, sort, sort. My white triangle. And scraps out of the way. My crushed curry and my orange. Easy peasy. I'm going to use a little bit of liquid adhesive. On the back side. Now, with the any stitch dies, you can tell the back side because the die cuts these little perforations and you feel a texture. That makes it the back side. Okay, and I'm going to lay the crushed curry down first. Line it up. There we go. Line it up. And then I'm going to put the white, Whisper White, right on top of that. Line it up. And now I have my candy corn shade. So what I want you to notice is that I have cornered the candy corn, just like the real candy. You know, I know this is a controversial candy. Okay, let's face it. It's kind of like pumpkin spice. Not everybody likes it, but it's fall. And candy corn, not everybody likes it, but to me, it's fall. It's all about fall, y'all. I love it, and I tell you what, I dread buying it because I used to buy it. First of all, I used to buy it by the bagfuls and put it in little treat bags and give it out with treat packets. And back in the day, you could make those kind of treat bags and give them out to classmates and such. But now with so many of our food regulations changing, everything has to be prepackaged and store-bought. So anyway, I dread opening these candy bags because I can literally eat an entire bag full of candy corn all day long. I will finish off the bag by myself. You know, it's 100% corn syrup. That's all it is. It's just colored, dyed globs of corn syrup, bubbled and hardened to become candy corn. So yeah, that's one of my favorites. I'm just going to crisscross my little corns like that. Just, you can opt to use whatever kind of design. The first time I made this card, I was playing around with it so many different ways, and I finally settled on this crisscross because I just wanted to feature the different colors of it. Okay, I have all these Stampin' Dimensionals, and I keep pulling out my little baby ones instead of my big ones. Where are they? I keep this, look, I keep this container just so you think I am organized. But I guess we'll use these pieces up. I have so many dimensionals. Where did they walk away to? I bet they're in another project kit. As I'm making projects, I put them into separate containers, and then I get to making too many projects at one time, and all of a sudden a lot of my materials end up separated. And I think that's what must happen with my newer Stampin' Dimensionals. Okay, so I'm going to tilt that one that way, and this one, let's see, something like that. Okay, put some dimensionals here. Put one down here, one up here, and on this one we'll put one here, and cut another. You have to be very resourceful. Use all the little pieces. The nice hexagonal ones, they're quick and easy to pop off. But I tell you what, when you get down to the wire, take the time and trim off those other ones. So I hope you like candy corn, and if you don't, well, I suggest making these for those who do, like me and other friends you may have. There you go. Happy Fall Candy Corn Delight. And as promised, we were going to stamp one piece on the inside. So we're going to take this and our leaf trio from Rooted in Nature, some pumpkin pie ink, stamp it, and then we're just going to add it into our card. because you can't write inside of a dark shaded card, so you need that extra white piece, or light piece in some cases. There, now we're ready. Happy fall. Isn't that lovely? I had so much fun making this card with you today. Thank you so much for taking the time to join me. So happy fall. Enjoy your candy corn, and if not, share it with others, because this is the cutest little card that I thought of making with the stitch triangle die set. Thank you again for joining me. Have a wonderful and blessed Saturday. I'm gonna scoot off and join my buddies at the Leadership Summit. Take care. See you next week. Bye-bye.